is Ryan Rash. He's from Crockett, Texas, and is no stranger to the livestock show circuit, both exhibiting and judging at county, state, regional, national, and international shows. He took his knowledge and passion for livestock with him to Texas A&M University, where his 1999 livestock judging team took home the National Intercollegiate Livestock Judging Championship. He currently works for the Texas Junior Livestock Association and the Showbox magazine. In addition, he is the owner of SBCC, a cattle company and consulting firm that procures and supervises cattle for junior livestock projects. Rash's advice to exhibitors is to enjoy the experience of showing as much as possible, even though life is a competition and you win some and you lose some. He hopes to add the unique laid-back atmosphere of the 2018 Arizona National Livestock Show. Please help me welcome Ryan to the 2018 ANLS. We'll also be having some of our very own exhibitors leading us in the pledge and the national anthem.
Please rise and remove your caps and join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, sir, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glow, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, coming into the ring, we have Class 1 of our open breeding cattle Angus division. We have entry 6370 shown by Lynn Wollever-Tellen, entry 6143 shown by Kagan McQuinn, and entry 6033 shown by Caitlin Doors.
You're gonna come around and then go over there in the butt. Sure.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I know we had a brief delay for the judging contest, but that's a good program and excited for those kids. Wish them the best of luck. The best thing about my job today is I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to mark all 50s because right, wrong, or indifferent, it's going to be official. As we start out the first class here today, a really nice trio that's extremely logical in the way that they need to sort. The young lady that wins has the female that takes the positive pieces of the 1s and 2 and 3, rolls them into one package, because that one still has some look and femininity, refinement with the power and substance that she needs to. She could be a little bigger than her bone and foot, but that's a nice one to start. The heifer in 2 is the longest, the most extended, really large outline female with a great deal of refinement and femininity. She needs to have more depth of side, more depth of flank, needs to be a little better in the way that she goes in terms of her range of motion. The heifer in 3 is sensibly sized, deep-sided, and belly. One, though, that wants to sway in several in terms of her top line. She's just a little more common through the front 1/3 of her body, and a heifer that struggles the most in terms of her movement from hop to ground. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 1 Junior Heifer Cats went to entry 6033, exhibited by Caitlin Doors. Second place went to entry 6370, shown by Lynn Woolever Talent. And third place went to entry 6143, shown by Kagan McWett. Coming into the ring next will be Class 1.1. We have Ed Richardson with entry 6082, Ray Jackson Gray with entry 2764, and Braden Wheeler with entry 6447.
This filter is so weird. Thank you, next. Well, let me see it because I have the official. That way. Over here and above you, Ed.
What an outstanding trio here, and the top 2 are particularly good, but with that said, there's a dominant force. If you don't think the female that wins is burly in terms of her build, tremendous in terms of her power, density, and mass, and does it in the correct way, because yet she still is good in terms of her show ring look and orientation, then we're probably not going to see cattle the same. With that, she can get out and go like a well-oiled machine. That's just one that's very, very unique and intriguing. Congratulations to you. The heifer in second can win lots of classes at lots of shows all across the nation because she has some advantages in the fact that she's actually just a little crisper about the front 1/3 of her body. She's a little smoother at the point of her shoulder. She gets overwhelmed and consumed by just a water moccasin. in this particular class, but that's a nice heifer nonetheless. And the one that comes in 3, the longest, the most extended, just a rocket-fronted female that simply has to be built wider from the ground up and have more power and punch in this particular trio. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 1.1 went to Braden Wheeler with entry 6447. Second place went to Jackson Ray with entry 2764. And third place went to Ed Richardson with entry 6079. Coming into the ring next will be our Class 1.2. We have Kenzie Bequette with entry 6149. Brooke Bradshaw with entry 7284. Terry Van Hilsen with entry 6160. Austin Bisselmeyer with entry 6040. And Styles Patton with entry 2490.
This is getting pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. And to be honest with you, I think we've already seen 5 females in the first 3 classes. Those are probably 5 of the best that we've seen in 4 days. And so this is really a lot of fun for me to sort. The top 3 are really good, but again, just a dominant force. And that one is the one that is just the most seamless and sinful in terms of her silhouette. She's absolutely the one that can get out and go better than the remaining 2 females in the top 3. She is so correct and good and true in terms of her range of motion, and just so flawless in terms of her skeletal build. She's got plenty of power and muscle to her. Just one again that's going to be a lot of fun to evaluate in this division drive. I think the biggest decision is between 2nd and 3. And there's different types of, no doubt that the heifer that's in 2 is the power heifer of this group. She is tremendously deep-sided and sappy-bellied, so round and robust in terms of her rib. She offers more total length than the heifers on either side of her. She's a heifer, though, that with all that, she doesn't hold her top line together quite as well. Even though she is more flexible in her spine, she's a heifer that gets a little in her knee, splays out on her front 2 ever so slightly, but again, a really good female. The heifer that comes in 3 is better in terms of the way that she looks from the side view profile, because she is stronger top, but they might go to her disadvantage because she gets tighter and tenser in her spine. When we put her in motion, she wants to bubble up there right behind her shoulder. I like the femininity and refinement that she displays. When we get her stopped, she just comes over just a shade from knee to ground, but again, a tremendously good-looking heifer with a lot of power. The young lady's heifer that stands in 4 is one that's deep-bodied and bold-sprung, has lots of power. She's just not as classy and as good-looking as the ones in front of her, and the one that we close with, another one that you appreciate the feminine refinement and femininity, just gets in here with a tremendously good group of heifers. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in class 1.2 went to entry 2490, shown by Styles Patton. Second place went to entry 6040, shown by Austin Misselmeyer. Third place went to entry 7284, shown by Brooke Bradshaw. Fourth place went to entry 6160, shown by Terry Van Hilsen. And fifth place went to entry 6149, shown by Kenzie McQuaid. Coming into the ring next, we will have class 2 junior heifer calves. We have Alex Misselmeyer with entry 6041, Jackson Ray with entry 2765, Chance Green with entry 6201, and Carolyn Rogers with entry 5734.
Again, just another tremendous female on the top of this class, and this division drive is going to be something to watch here in just a little bit. This heifer is really out there in terms of her design, how square she is in terms of her build. She is tremendous in terms of her bone and foot, and yet again, one that you can't say is not showroom oriented in terms of her look. And so this is going to be really fun to evaluate here in a few minutes. Just an exceptional female at the top of the class. The heifer in 2 is no slouch at all. That one is deep-sided and really big in the lower 1/3 of her body, and yet refined up front. She gives up some bone and foot. She's not as good in the way that she handles her rear pastern as the heifer in the lead, but another one that can do lots of winning for this young man here. And then we come around next with the man in cowboy hat. Another good one you like some things about in terms of power. One, though, that just wants to get a little out there in terms of the way that she holds her shoulder, moves up front, and then we close the class with one, again, deep-bodied and bold-sprung, but just a female that needs to move better off of her rear too, be more collected and organized in terms of her skeleton. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 2 Junior Heifer Calves went to entry 5734, shown by Carolyn Rogers. Second place went to entry 2765, shown by Jackson Ray. Third place went to entry 6041, shown by Alex Visselmeyer. And fourth place went to entry 6201, shown by Chance Green. Coming into the ring next, we will have Class 3 Junior Heifer Calves with entry 6137, shown by Roy Gibson.
Young man here tells me his heifer's name is Mabel. He says he's a little cold, but he's had fun at the Arizona National. And so, you know what, this guy I'm glad to see, because this is by far the easiest class we've had so far, because there's only one in it, and you can't argue with me. He's doing an exceptional job, and this is what it's about. Please give him a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 3 Junior Heifer Calves went to entry 6137, shown by Roy Gibson. We'll ask Roy to hang out in the ring while we bring back in the first places from our previous classes to compete for our Junior Heifer Calf Champion. From our first class, we have entry 6033, shown by Caitlin Doors. From Class 1.1, we have entry 6447, shown by Braden Wheeler. From Class 1.2, we have entry 2490, shown by Styles Patton. And from Class 2, we have entry 5734, shown by Carolyn Rogers. After we have the first places walk for a little bit, we will bring back in the seconds from those classes. From Class 1 and second was entry 6370, shown by Lynn Wool-Evertellen. From Class 1.1, second place went to entry 2764, shown by Jackson Ray. From Class 1.2, second place was entry 6040, shown by Austin Visselmeyer. And from Class 2, second place was entry 2765, shown by Jackson Ray.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you, if you're not impressed and this doesn't raise your body temperature or make your blood boil, then you don't like good show cattle as well as I do, because this is impressive. And so please give these exhibitors a tremendous round of applause. What a great division and way to start off the show this morning. Not to take anything away from the seconds, the young lady at the lead, or this little type back here with Mabel, but the heat of the battle is those middle three, and that's where the decision has to lie. I think that it is just tremendous in terms of quality. There are differences in them, and I will describe those to you and tell you the way that I like them the best. No doubt that the young man out of Class 2, that heifer is just the most out there in terms of her muscularity, her dense, her mass. She is Chewbacca-legged, and one that is just overwhelming in terms of her rib shape and her dimension. And as we said in class, it's still in a female-like package. Her muscularity, she gets out and go exceptionally well for all the dimension and power that she has. You know, we have to get critical on these three because they are so good. If you study her compared to the heifer right behind her, and even the female behind her, she's the lowest set at the point of her shoulder. She's the female that you'd like to refine just a little bit in terms of her head. Even though she probably has as much length and extension from her shoulders forward, she's not quite as crisp under her jawline. She's just a shade thicker in terms of her neck. When you study her, because she has the most volume and density, she's the one that's just the boldest at the point of her shoulder, and she is not as seamless in the way that shoulder blends into her forehead and body cavity. That is absolutely getting ultra critical on a fantastic female. The heifer that comes out of the middle class in the division there, that is the one for me that I think that when we put them in motion, she holds herself together the best because she stays the strongest and most collected in terms of her top line. There is no doubt she is the truest as you watch her come to and from you in terms of her range of motion. She is one that is very beautiful in terms of her lines and balance because she holds the advantage in terms of how well she hooks in there behind her shoulder. She is so fashionable level from hooks to pins, and she just has a pleasing silhouette and a sinful look from the side. She is the one of the trio that even though she's the tightest in her front, she's the shortest in her neck. And I realize that. I think of all three of the females as she grows and matures, that's the one that may be the deepest in her chest. As you study her there, no doubt that she today is one that is just seamless in terms of her look. She is so correct in the way that shoulder blends into her body, has plenty of power and muscularity. Just another one that is so good. If you're going to get ultra critical on her, and we have to, she's the smallest in terms of her bone and foot, even though she is the best moving one of that three. The heifer at the back is one that's powerful and one that you have to love the outline because, again, she's so out there in terms of her type and kind. A female that is really good-headed, perhaps the best-headed of the entire trio, one that you just really like the look and voice. She's the longest-sided of them all. She's really big in terms of her bone and foot. She's a heifer that even though she's got plenty of power, if you study her to the two in front of her, she tapers the most out the top side of her hip. She's not quite as full there in her stifle, not quite as round or pronounced or dimensional in terms of her muscularity from behind. She's a heifer that ever so slightly wants to pinch in her loin, rise up at the top of her spine, get a little in her knee, and splayed out at her foot. Again, an outstanding female that can win lots of divisions and classes and breeds all the way you want to go. It's just your personal preference and your priority. Which one hits you the hardest? I tell people all the time, you got to go with your gut. The one that is the most seamless, the most sinful, and the most sophisticated today is the young man in the green. That'll be the champion. Give him a nice round of applause. We'll follow up with the heifer out of Class 2 to be reserved. Give him a good round of applause. Excellent division.
Our champion junior heifer calf is entry 2490, exhibited by Styles Patton. Our reserve is entry 6447, shown by Braden Wheeler. Coming into the ring next, we will have Class 4. Class 4 late senior heifer calves with entry from Garrett Green, entry number 6207.
Young man brings us a single entry class winner, and after that heated division, nice to have something that you don't have to think much about right here. But this one is really good in terms of her look. She's long and extended, flat and level in her mate. We'll study her further in the division drive. Congratulations to you, young man.
First place in Class 4 late senior heifer calves went to entry 6207, shown by Garrett Green. Coming into the ring next, we will have Class 5 early senior heifer calves. We have entry 4629, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts, and entry 6038, shown by Austin Misselmeyer.
Big old rock right there. Trying to get them all out, but.
A nice duo here, but no doubt that the young man heifer just overwhelms and consumes the 1 and 2. Just a female that is beautiful in terms of her outline, tremendous in terms of her shape. I'm not the only one that likes her because somebody spent as much time on her hair as I did my own, so they're proud to know her, and that's a really good one. Congratulations to you. Young lady's heifer in second gets in here with the dominant force, but that's a heifer that's straight and strong down her top. She's good in terms of her hip. She needs to move better off either end of her skeleton, and again, she just gets overwhelmed by one that has more volume and mass out here today. Good pair. Nice round of applause.
First place in Class 5 early senior heifer calves went to entry 4629, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts. Second place went to entry 6038, exhibited by Austin Misselmeyer. We'll ask Richard to stay in the ring while we bring back in the first place from our previous class, entry 6207, shown by Garrett Green, to compete for our senior heifer calf champion. And Austin, you may follow them after the walk.
Over there on a profile.
Well, another nice division, not quite as heated as the last one, because to be honest with you, I think Stevie Wonder could figure out which one needs to win out here. That young man's heifer out of 2 is just the only thing that you can do in that particular division. Congratulations to you. The heifer that's the most like that one and the closest to it is the one that was second in that class. That young lady will be reserved. Give them a nice round of applause.
Our senior heifer calf champion went to entry 4629, shown by Richard Pitts, Pitts Livestock. And our reserve heifer calf senior heifer calf champion went to entry 6038, shown by Austin Misselmeyer. Scratch that and reverse it. So our senior heifer calf champion was entry 6038, shown by Austin Misselmeyer, and our reserve was entry 4629, shown by Richard Pitts. And also reverse the placements on that last class, so Austin was first and Richard was second. Coming into the ring next, we will have Class 6 late summer yearling heifers. We have entry 5108, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts.
I'm gonna go over there to someone. Oh, who's taking over ringside? I'll just head all over the GP. This is just so
Single entry here, and definitely a good-looking female from the front 1/3 of her body. And with that, she's strong line and straight top. Good out of her hip will steady her further in the division drive, and congratulations to you.
First place in Class 6 late summer yearling heifers went to entry 5108, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts. Coming into the ring next will be Class 7 early summer yearling heifers with entry 4628, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts, and entry 6080, shown by Ed Richardson. We would also like to announce that the Hospital is now open. So if you're looking for some hot food or cold drinks, you can head on over there. And the Supreme Drive for our open saddle division will be taking place at 2:30. It will be out here pending the weather.
We should be able to do semis out here, but percentage are probably there's a lot of distribution. 1, 2, 3.
Pair of females in this class that have some similarities in terms of the fact that they're feminine females that are long-sided, fresh in terms of their appearance. The differences is when you get in behind them, the young lady's heifer in the lead, there's just more center body width, more roundness of rib, and there's more total muscularity and mass and dimension in that female. Is she perfect in the way that she sets down her rear pasture? No, but I think she's stronger and more stable in terms of her hawk than the heifer that comes in two, that is actually longer fronted and higher headed. I realize that, really long and extended in terms of her body length. She's a heifer though that just needs to be built wider from the ground up, and when we put her in motion, she has to be straight and squared from hawk to ground. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 7 early summer yearling heifers went to entry 4628, shown by Pitts Livestock, Richard Pitts. Second place went to entry 6080, shown by Ed Richardson. We'll have Richard stay in the ring while we bring back in our first place from our previous class, entry 5108, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts, to compete for our intermediate female champion.
an interesting division, and one, to be honest, I don't think it comes quite across as easily to sort as the other ones that we've seen earlier. To be honest with you, I don't know if we're going to accuse any of these three females of being long-distance runners in their life, because we can all tweak them in terms of the way that they go and their structural integrity and build. Call that a wash and judge them from there. There's still some minute differences between them. The heifer in the lead is the one that has the advantage in terms of the fact that her neck ties higher at the top side of her skeleton. She's one that's better headed. She's a female that's just a little stronger in the way that she hooks right in there in her shoulder and loin. She has the advantage in terms of lower body rib and width. A heifer that you appreciate those things, maybe not quite as good and level in terms of the way that she handles her hip. Again, she's not perfect in her structure, but none of them are. The heifer that won the older class, that one's longer spine. Really one that you appreciate that. She too is a heifer that presents a nice look. She has the advantage in just terms of total silhouette because she is flatter, longer, and leaner there in the way that her hip and tail head fit into her scapula and spine. She's a heifer that tapers ever so slightly. When you get in behind her again, she needs to be a little better in the way that she handles her rear hip pock and pastern. So a close pair. The young lady that was second in that class, another good one. Just in this trio, has got to be built wider from the ground up to run from the two in front. We'll leave them as they stand. The young man on one will win. Young lady in two will be reserved. Give them a good round of applause.
Our champion intermediate female went to entry 5108, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts. Our reserve champion intermediate female went to entry 4628, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts. Coming into the ring next, we will have Class 8 April Junior Yearling Heifers. We have entry 2489, shown by Styles Patton, entry 6081, shown by Ed Richardson, and entry 5763, shown by Miranda Rayford.
Do you guys have any snacks up there?
Yeah, we do.
I really I didn't eat breakfast and yeah, I think that my shot was poisoned last night. Because I really don't feel good. I woke up at like 2 a.m. I sat with my sister and I'm like, I'm courageous.
right, another really interesting trio here. Lots of give and take between these two. Just to be honest with you, the female that wins is fresher. And she's better in terms of her presentation today. She is so sinful and striking in terms of her silhouette out here. She is one that has more actual muscularity, more lower rib shape. And again, freshness is the key to her win, because I'm not going to tell you she's as good in her skeleton, because she's not. Because she just does want to wobble just a shade out of her hock from behind. When she makes the corner, she wants to get just a little in her knee. I'm not saying that female's unsound, but the heifer in 2 does have that advantage, because she's as mobile and flexible as any of we've seen, because that one has legs like a high school cheerleader. But today here, she's not as good in terms of her presentation. She's a little deeper in her chest. She just doesn't have that look and glow and bloom out here. Those are 2 really good females, though. I like them both well, and then nothing wrong with the heifer in 3. Just gets in here with a pair of powerful ones. That one's deep-sided and good belly. One that just got to have more total show ring look and appeal to run in this particular class.
First place in Class 8 April Junior Yearling Heifer Calves went to entry 5763, exhibited by Miranda Rathel. Second place went to entry 2489, shown by Styles Patton. And third place went to entry 6081, shown by Ed Richardson. Coming into the ring next, we will have Class 9 March Junior Yearling Heifers. We have entry 6206, shown by Gary Green. Entry 6199, shown by Chance Green. And entry 6176, shown by Grace DeConsick.
I know. This is a Valley of the Sun. Come on. I don't know where it's at, but somewhere.
That's the last class. Right, a nice trio, and again, I don't know if there's that one that just hits you extremely hard and says, I have to win this class, but good cattle all the way through. The young man that's going to win, that's the best looking heifer of the trio. With that, she's ample in terms of body depth and width, good enough in terms of her design and build. She is the one that holds the advantage in the way that she moves after you study off either end, and she's again one that's fresh in terms of her condition. The heifer in 2 is deeper sided and bolder sprung. She's actually longer in terms of her spine, and I like those advantages that she possesses and displays. She's a heifer, though, that as you study her, not quite as good in her head carriage. When she gets in motion, she really wants to get underneath herself in the way that she goes, because she's tighter and not as correctly assembled in the way that her hip comes into her spine. Then the young man that we close with, again, one he's done a nice job with in terms of condition. She's lean out here, she's deep-sided. She's simply got to be more coordinated and organized in her skeleton and built wider from the ground up when you get in behind her. But an excellent trio. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 9 March Junior Yearling Heifers went to entry 6199, exhibited by Chance Green. Second place went to entry 6176, shown by Grace DeConsick. And third place went to entry 6206, shown by Garrett Green. Coming into the ring next will be Class 10 Early Junior Yearling Heifers. We have entry 6 6088, shown by Nicole Myers.
Single entry to, I think, wrap up this division. Young lady here has brought us one that's an alert appearing, high-headed female that's long and level in terms of her outline. We'll study her further in the division drive, but congratulations to her.
First place in Class 9 and Class 10 early junior yearling heifers went to Nicole Myers with entry 6088. We'll ask Nicole to wait in the ring while we bring back in the first places from our previous classes. From Class 8, April junior yearling heifers, in first place we had Miranda Raythel with entry 5763. From Class 9, March junior yearling heifers, in first place we had Chance Green with entry 6199. He'll join Nicole in the ring, and after our first places have walked for a little bit, so we'll let our first places walk for a little bit here. And then we will bring back in the seconds from those classes. From Class 8, in second we had Styles Patton with entry 2489. And from Class 9 in second we had Grace DeConson with entry 6176.
Well, another really nice division, and these kids and exhibitors and adults have done a nice job putting them together, so please put your hands and reward them for all the hard work that they've displayed out here this morning. With that said, I think there was a pair of heifers that came to us early in the division that are definitely the dominant force, and the logical things to do, the two heifers out of Class 1 will be granted reserve. Give them a nice round of applause.
Our junior champion female went to entry 5763, exhibited by Miranda Raythel, and our reserve champion junior female went to entry 2489, shown by Styles Patton. Coming into the ring next, we will have Class 13 early senior yearling heifers. We have entry 5609, shown by Sean LaFeist. Sean LaFeist with entry 5609, you are needed in the show ring. Sean LaFeist with entry 5609, your class is in the show ring.
He's right here. Come on. It's this heifer.
I've sold 500. I've shot 5. Shot her 250. But I keep changing it because it keeps getting darker. Like, literally every shot you take out here, you have to do something. The sun was out earlier.
Yeah, I know. I went to the restroom and came out and freaking clouds were everywhere. Shit, 2-year-old.
Well, what an excellent way to end up the Angus female division with a really tremendous cow-cat pair. And she's obviously got in production early and doing a good job, and yet she is so still collected in terms of her look and her design, just fresh as a daisy, and doing a nice job raising a calf there. So excellent pair. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in Class 13 and our senior female champion went to Sean LaFeist with entry 5609. We will bring back into the ring our previous age division champions for our champion Angus female drive. From our junior heifer calf division, we had entry 2490, shown by Styles Patton. From our senior heifer calf division, we had entry 603H shown by Austin Bisselmeyer. And from our junior female division, we had entry 5763 shown by Miranda Rafel.
Jeff is having none of that.
Once our champions have entered the ring and walked, I will announce the reserves. I also forgot our intermediate female champion, entry 5108, shown by Pitts Livestock, Richard Pitts.
They can't sit in their golf.
Now that we have all our champions in the ring, we will bring in our reserves. From our junior heifer calf division, our reserve was Braden Wheeler with entry 6447. From our senior heifer calf division, our reserve was entry 4629, Pitts Livestock, Richard Pitts. From our intermediate female division, our reserve was Pitts Livestock, Richard Pitts, entry 4628. And from our junior female division, our reserve was Styles Patton, entry 2489.
Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, I know you might be cold and tired and ready for New Year's Eve, but again, if you're not impressed and just blown away with the quality that we've seen in this particular division here, then again, I don't think we see show cattle the same, or we get as excited about going to shows as I do, because this is good. Please reward these people with a round of applause. You know, when they're this good and this deep, and I'm well aware that there are cattle in this ring, some that have gone back to the barn already, that are going to go out and compete at Kansas City, Louisville, Denver, junior nationals and state fairs at a high level. They probably already have. And so, but when you get to this point, it's literally, you have to be really certain in what you admire, like, and love in show cattle, where your priorities sit, and just to choose the ones that hit you the hardest. With that said, there was a pair that came early. They ran hard and they're going to run the gamut. They're not exactly the same type or kind, but what they are is a powerful pair of bodacious bovines. That's the two calf champions. They'll be grand in reserve. Congratulations to them.
It's called Switcher.
Our champion Angus female today is entry 2490, exhibited by Styles Patton. Our reserve Angus female is entry 6447, shown by Braden Wheeler. Our champion Angus female will be receiving a banner sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show. As you hear me announce awards throughout the day, if you hear anything that is sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show, that means that award is open for sponsorship from any interested individual or company. Our champion Angus female will also be receiving a boot bag sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show. And our reserve Angus female will be receiving a banner sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show. Coming into the ring next, we'll have Class 21 Cow-Calf Division. We have Linville Evertellen with entry 6371. Following our Cow-Calf Division, we will begin our Angus Bull Show.
Only one cow-calf pair in this division, and so she's really easily going to be the grand champion. But that cow's doing what she needs to do because that heifer calf alongside is going to be better than her mom, and that's what we intend to do when we breed these, is to breed up, and she's done that and done well. So congratulations to them. Give them a nice round of applause.
First place in our champion cow-calf pair went to entry 6371, shown by Linville Evertellen. Coming into the ring next will be Class 31 Junior Bull Calves. We have entry 6157, shown by Cornerstone Ranch Incorporated. And entry 4627, shown by Pitts Livestock, Richard Pitts. We will be taking a short 5-minute break before we begin our bull show. Entry 6157, shown by Cornerstone Ranch Incorporated, and entry 4627, shown by Richard Pitts, Pitts Livestock.
All right, a really nice pair of fresh, good-looking bull calves to start off this division. With that said, there's no doubt that this one here is just dominating in terms of his power, substance, his mass and density compared to his contemporary in this particular division, and that's why he wins. The one in second that's going to end up being the reserve bull calf champion. That one is longer and leaner in terms of his neck, offers more extension. He just doesn't have the three-dimensional shape and power when you get him behind him with the one that wins. Congratulations to both.
First place in our champion junior bull calf went to entry 4627, shown by Pitts Livestock, Richard Pitts. Second place in our reserve junior bull calf champion went to entry 6157, shown by Cornerstone Ranch Incorporated. Coming into the ring next will be class 33 late senior bull calves. We have entry 2949, shown by Tom Anderson, and entry 2948, also shown by Tom Anderson.
We've got a brother team out here. That's a little bit of sibling rivalry going on here. I'm assuming this one's older, and he's going to be a bigger fan of me today because he's going to win. And that's because his bull is just stouter in terms of his hip. He's better in the way that he goes at the ground. With that, he's good enough in terms of his look. Younger brother's got one that's longer and leveler in terms of his design, offers more extension and more look to the front 1/3 of his body, but he's one that's a little narrower in terms of his lower rib shape, not quite as stout in terms of his foot and bone, but a nice pair. Congratulations to both of them.
First place in our intermediate champion bowl went to Tom Anderson with entry 2948. Second place in our reserve intermediate champion bowl went to entry 2949, shown by Tom Anderson. Coming into the ring next, we'll have early junior yearling bulls with entry 6083, shown by Ed Richardson, and entry 5731, shown by Carolyn Rogers.
No, there's two. We're waiting on one more. Hold on just a second. And tell them to start bringing his other 2-year-old bull too. Hurry up.
Couple drops. I haven't felt any yet, but I've seen them. I know that this thing is definitely not. I might call.
Get off the radio.
really nice parables in this particular class. And with that said, again, there's just a dominating force to win. And gentlemen up here in the cowboy hat and striped shirt, that one has got a lot of intriguing parts and pieces. Because even though that one is masculine about his feature, he still has a great deal of showing presence and pizzazz out here, a world of muscularity and dimension, got paws for feet, and can get out and go. Just one that I like quite well. Bull in second is beautiful in terms of his balance and his design, lines and flat and level in terms of his look. Just when we get in behind him, not as dimensional, not as powerful, not as dense or burly in his make, but a good pair. Give him a nice round of applause.
First place in our junior champion bowl with entry 5731, exhibited by Carolyn Rogers. Second place in our reserve champion junior bowl with entry 6083, exhibited by Ed Richardson. Coming into the ring next will be class 42. We have entry 6084, shown by Ed Richardson, and entry 6198, shown by Chance Green.
Nice parables here, lots of contrast in terms of their type and kind, and I'll describe the differences to you. The gentleman that's going to win, that one is better in terms of his lower rib shape. There's definitely an advantage in terms of total muscularity as you study him up high and through his hip, down low into his stifle. With that, that bull is more correct in the way that his shoulder blends into his forerib and body cavity, one that's long spine, a little better in the way that he's made through his head and crest. He's not perfect in the way that he goes from his hop to ground, but one that's good enough and the one that I think needs to win. Bull in second is a big outline, stout, rugged in terms of bone and foot. I like his length and levelness up top. He's in his working clothes out here. I would venture to guess he's been out on cows for a while because he's pretty green, pretty raw. With that, you can see that he just caves in right there behind his forerib. He's not as stout in terms of his lower body symmetry or width, and one that when you get him behind him, a little flatter in terms of his shape. The good pair, nice round of applause.
First place in our champion senior bowl went to Ed Richardson with entry 6084. Second place in our reserve champion senior bowl went to entry 6198, shown by Chance Green. We'll ask Ed to stay in the ring while we bring back in our previous age division champions. From our junior bull calf division, we have entry 4627, Pitts Livestock, shown by Richard Pitts. From our intermediate bull division, we have entry 22948, exhibited by Tom Anderson. And from our junior bull division, we have entry 5731, shown by Carolyn Rogers. Once all of our champions have entered the ring and walked for a bit, I will announce our reserves. Our champion Angus bull today will receive a boot bag sponsored by Bartol Quarter Horses, and they will receive a banner sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show. Our reserve champion Angus bull will receive a banner sponsored by the Arizona National Livestock Show.
Ready? Yeah.
Now that we have all of our champion bulls in, I will announce our reserves. From our junior bull calf division, our reserve was entry 6157, shown by Cornerstone Ranch Incorporated. From our intermediate bull division, our reserve was entry 2949, shown by Tom Anderson. And from our junior bull division, our reserve was entry 6083, shown by Ed Richardson. And from our senior bull division, our reserve was entry 6198, shown by Chance Green.
Well, as we wrap up the Angus breed here in the bull division, we probably had as many bulls in this particular breed as we've had in 4 days. And so the competition has been good. Cattle have done well, and the exhibitors have worked hard, and I appreciate their efforts. With that said, there's one that kind of annihilates the field in terms of what I admire and desire in show cattle, and there's a logical one that runs the closest to him that needs to be reserved and has a bright future. Young man in the stripes and the cowboy hat, that's the easy thing to do. Congratulations to you, outstanding bull, followed with the calf champion to be reserved. Give him a nice round of applause.
Our champion Angus bull today is entry 5731, shown by Carolyn Rogers. Our reserve is entry 4627, shown by Pitts Livestock, Richard Pitts.